Hello, good morning. Casey Durango here of Go Keto with Casey. I hope you can see and hear me. It's always a wonderful challenge to see if technology is working. Hey, good morning, says Carol. Very good to see you. Please do let me know if you can see and hear me. My name is Casey Durango of Go Keto with Casey, where I like to talk about how I've lost 97.4 pounds since starting the ketogenic diet, how you might be able to lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life. This will be a short live stream today as there is much on the calendar. Thank you. And okay, thank you very much, Nancy. So you can see at least see and hear you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today's topic is one that actually in our Patreon group, I do morning snippets and I have a spreadsheet where people can suggest topics. And the question was, how is losing weight through ketosis any different than losing weight through calorie restriction? So how is the ketogenic diet different? Is it different? Here is my take on it. Keep in mind, I'm not a researcher, a physiologist, a medical doctor, a clinician, or anything else. I'm simply a former fatty who was very overweight for a very long time. You can see my before photos at my blog. I was obese for 30 years and had given up. And it's not that I had not tried. We've all tried. We've all tried everything from cabbage soup to move more, eat less, to low fat, to the biggest loser, to Weight Watchers. How it's different for me. First of all, let me clarify. The ketogenic diet is one where you reduce your carbohydrate intake to a level where you are burning, you no longer are, your liver is not pushing out glucose in which your body uses for fuel. And so when the glucose tap is turned off, as it were, our body switches to an alternative and, I dare say, better fuel, fat, ketone bodies. That's why it's called the ketogenic diet. That's why it's called being in ketosis, when you're burning fat for fuel. Now, there are differences in the way our body functions when we're burning fat for fuel. Lots of things change. Inflammation reduces, triglycerides go down, brain fog can lift, we function better, we have more energy as a rule. But as far as weight loss, what's different than just restricting calories? When you're burning fat for fuel, when you're following the protocol, we are reducing our caloric intake. The difference is we're not restricting our caloric intake. The reason is because it happens naturally. You know, people say, oh, it's such a restrictive diet. And I dare say it's the least restrictive diet. When you're trying to do low fat and move more and eat less and calories in, calories out, by definition, you're restricting calories. You are paying a lot of attention to energy. And calories are energy. When you're following a well-formulated ketogenic diet, appetite and hunger are naturally reduced. Ergo, we consume less. You don't go around hungry all the time. We can we can white knuckle our way through caloric, restriction. We can move more, eat less. We can do Biggest Loser, and we can just grin and bear it and be hungry all the time and think about food and feel deprived. There's the difference. Don't know about you. I don't feel deprived. And when my fuel of choice is any variation on beef with the fat that comes with it, and 3 egg omelets, cream cheese and shredded cheddar and bacon. I might have tuna salad with full fat mayonnaise for my first fuel of the day with half an avocado. I don't feel. Now, this takes a while to learn. What is actual hunger and when are we satiated? Because we have lifetimes of habit, lifetime of indoctrination of 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. If you go 3 hours without eating, your body's going to go into starvation mode. So we have to unlearn a lot of stuff. But bottom line, that's the difference. We reduce our caloric intake, our fuel intake, because we need less fuel, because the fuel we consume is more efficient, it's more satisfying, and we lose weight, so we need less fuel. We're not hauling around X tens of pounds of, an extra 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100, 120, 130. I know a woman's lost 217 pounds. She needs less fuel to move through space than she did 217 pounds heavier, right? So if we just follow the protocol, and keep in mind, this is the protocol. I want you to hear what it is as I learned it and have followed it. And I want you to hear what's not mentioned. That's kind of weird. Listen to what you don't hear. Keep your carbohydrate intake 20 grams or fewer a day, total, not net. Eat fatty sources of protein. Don't eat if you're not hungry. Stop when you're satiated. Now I'm going to give you a moment to think about, wait a minute. There was nothing in there about fill in the blank. There was nothing mentioned about must do fill in the blank. There was nothing mentioned about pay attention. Do what works for you. But someone who never thought I'd be wearing a size 4 Calvin Klein linen shorts, which I am right now, by the way. I started out on a 24W with spandex in the jeans, and I needed every fiber of the spandex. And I'm in a size 4 in this particular pair of shorts. So that's it. How is it different? It's different because it works, for one thing. It works if you do it. If you don't do it, then, don't blame cheat days. Don't blame keto for what the cheat days did. Don't blame keto for what the net carbs did. Don't blame keto for what the fat bombs or the bulletproof coffee did. Don't blame keto for the 7 cups of minimum of leafy greens a day did, because that's not part of the protocol. By the way, if you're interested in the legitimate page 4 as endorsed by Dr. Eric Westman, he's just now grabbed ownership of it, which he should have long ago. If you want the total one, you can still see the food list I followed. It's right below this, what I'm about to show you at my blog. But I want to show you because it's a good cause. The food list is pretty straightforward. And just follow it. And if it's not there, don't eat it. So there you go. That's it. Now for a moment, I'm going to turn my attention to comments, questions, suggestions. Okay, so the thing is frozen. Okay, I really don't know. I'm sorry, I'm on a 5 gigahertz, 1 gigabyte fiber optic system. Nothing else on my system is open. So I don't know what else to do. Donna writes, my dietitian wants me to only eat 3 ounces of protein with my 2 meals that a day. I'm definitely not satisfied with 3 ounces. Dietitians and nutritionists probably are going to be the last bricks in the wall to fall. Do what you want. I don't know why you're going to a dietitian. If there's a reason, then that's fine. But there's no prescribed amount of protein for everybody. There's a formula which is such a wide range that I find it to be not useful. But it's, again, a part of the protocol is not make sure you get an X grams of protein or X grams of fat or maximum grams of protein or it's 20 grams or fewer of carbohydrate a day. But if you're not satisfied, that's telling you something. But are you also eating the fat that comes with the protein? Is your dietitian one of these low fat people? So it just depends. Hey, Chell's mommy. Love you, Casey. I'm back on track and feeling amazing. Thanks for loving me through it. Stacy from the UP. Join Patreon. Oh, thank you very much. There's a little plug for Patreon. Thank you. I will say something about Patreon. Patreon is a site where I do most of my content. I do about 20 old school short videos a month for the $2 and up patrons. I do about 7 or 8 private live streams for patrons a month, about 7 or 8 video group chats and one-on-ones, depending on the pledge level. But it's a very supportive community, and there's a patron-only forum. So, and that's just patreon.com. So thank you very much. Thanks, Stacy, for bringing that up. I appreciate a little commercial for that. And yeah, I'll tell you, not for nothing, unless you start selling supplements and pills and gimmicks, there's nothing to really sell with the Go Keto with Casey diet. Now there are books and things like that, of course, but people trying to make a profit in this, it's like trying to make a profit at the public library. They're really not meant to be profit centers. And those people who do try to be careful. Be careful to whom you listen. But thank you for that. Maxie Doodle. Hi, Casey. Been silently following you for a while. I also followed Brenda's running on keto for a while, too. I'm concerned about her. She took down her channel. Do you know if she's okay? I don't. She and I had a collaborative video once a couple of years ago. And I don't. It could be, what it could be? That she's living her life. The whole point of feeling better is to live your life. It's to not constantly be monitoring social media and perseverating over how many grams of fat one is getting. Feel better, live your life. I am doing this because I feel called. That sounds dramatic, but I'm at a stage in life where, I had a lucrative career for 30 years. I've raised my children. They're all high functioning, wonderful adults. I feel called to do this because there are too many people, male and female, who have spent too many years thinking they were absolute failures, when it was sometimes the advice that failed us. We tried to do what the instructions said. It's like cigarettes. When used as directed, they're not good for you. A low-fat diet, when used as directed, is not good for you. The recommendations failed us. And I'd given up on my life. I have a great life. I always have had. But I'd gotten to the point where I wasn't sure I wanted to spend another 30 years in that body, feeling that way. So maybe Brindis is simply living her life. She's cute as a bug. Nancy Fennel writes, I'm saving lots of money on the food. I can always find chicken thighs on sale, right? The cheapest foods, the cheapest cuts, not the cheapest foods, the cheapest poultry and meats are often the ones best for us. They're the highest fat content. Chicken thighs are less expensive than boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And they're full of fat and they're more satisfying. Oh, you are welcome. Hey, Terry, keto was the best thing that's ever happened to me. Can I tell you? Same here. Other than meeting my husband, I don't know where I would have ended up if I had met my husband. I don't know. I have no idea. Probably not in a good place. Hey, Karen Marie. Hello, Casey. My first live chat. My name is Karen from Delaware. Keto has saved my life. Several people feel that. People have gotten off of so many medications. Their moods have regulated. Anxiety has dissipated. No, it's not a cure-all for everything. We still have to live in our lives. If you're in an unhappy marriage, keto's not going to fix it. If you hate your job, keto's not going to fix it. Now, feeling better may help you deal with things better. And keep in mind, when you learn that food is not the boss of you, which is my best-selling t-shirt. Oh, by the way, look at my shirt. IC and IW, I don't know if that's in reverse. You can see this below my videos, and you can see this mug. I can and I will go keto with Casey. IC and IW. I can and I will. T-shirts. And you can get sweatshirts and tanks and phone cases. I'm going to come up with some other stuff too. That's just for fun. Because as they say, if you're not selling potions and powders and kits and meal plans and stuff and exogenous ketones, because this is just food. This is just normal food that works. You don't need anything else. So it helps. I sell a mug. It helps. I'll be transparent with you. Does anyone have a question for me? You can ask me anything. I will share just about anything with you. I have some big news. We have the Go Keto with Casey Alaska cruise coming up in July of 2020, which I may have already mentioned. Guess what? Along on our cruise with our group will be Dr. Eric Westman and Amy Berger. We're going to have them all to ourselves. That's going to be fantastic. So if you're interested, it's July 2020, July 10th through the 17th, disembarking from Seattle. It's going to be great. So check it out. I've just done a link. Lisa Pennert of Coastline Travel is our travel coordinator. We already have about, I don't know what it is, 75 people who've reached out, and many people have put down their deposits. My husband and I are going to be there in stateroom 1533, aqua class. Tammy Bacon writes, I keep falling off because I occasionally still get carb cravings. Also, I've never gotten a good reading on the urine strips. Okay, so those are two separate issues. When you say a good reading, anything over neutral is a good reading on the urine strips, okay? Also, if you've had them around a long time and maybe you left the cap off for a day, just get some fresh strips. Do not test first thing upon having a full bladder. Where, that's for most people, that's first thing upon rising in the morning. But if you work second shift or whatever, but anything above neutral means you're burning fat for fuel. Those are reading, contrary to popular belief, the strips do not measure ketones. They measure acetoacetate, which is a byproduct of your body mobilizing ketones for fuel. The blood strips do not measure ketones. They measure beta hydroxybutyrate, which is a byproduct of burning ketones for fuel. But forget what if the strips had never been invented. Let's get to the cravings. How do you deal with a craving? Well, for some people, they drink pickle juice. But Tammy, a craving is not a life emergency. And it'll pass. And if you keep indulging the craving, even if it's once every few days, once every couple of weeks, then you're more likely to get the craving back. You didn't get to be as heavy as I was without liking to eat pizza and tortilla chips and ice cream and M&Ms and pasta, you name it. But after I went for about 2 weeks without eating any of them, and I thought I could not, I would have the proactive thought, I cannot go without tortilla chips for the rest of my life. I haven't had one since January 8th, 2014. And since about January 20th, 2014, I've not wanted one, not craved it. I have no interest in them. So sometimes we have to put on our big person pants, Tammy. If you were married to a philanderer and the excuse was, I tried to be faithful, but man, I keep getting these cravings for other women. How would we feel about that? The craving is not an emergency. We use a lot of explanations for why things are. What it is, you want to eat the carbs. If you want to eat them, eat them. Don't blame it on a craving, because you're stronger than a craving, aren't you? I'm sure you've been through things in life that are stronger than potato chips. Debbie Longenecker, yay, catch you. Hey, To It Nutrition. See, they're waving hello. Look who's on board. To It Nutrition, Amy Berger herself. And you guys, if you don't follow me on Patreon, follow To It Nutrition. She's got a Patreon account, and she's going to be on our cruise. I'm pretty excited about it. I have certain minimum standards for people I like in my life. They have to be smart, they have to be funny, and they have to be kind. Amy Berger is all of those things. Shane writes, taking my mom on vacation to celebrate her weight loss and improvement on her health on keto. It is life-changing. To think, we're sold a bill of goods, particularly women, particularly going through and postmenopausal women. Oh, well, this is, you just need to fasten your seatbelt because it's going to be a bumpy downhill ride from here. No, it doesn't have to be so. Karen Marie writes, I've been listening to a few vegan coaches and doctors that I've been following for the last few years, and they keep telling me that eating a low carb or keto diet is only going to clog arteries. They don't know what they're talking about. Sorry for the long message. I think that was family history that has scared me. However, I'm not able to enjoy life not feeling well, and I've decided to step in with both feet to the keto way of life. Those folks need to, if they're medical doctors, they need to crack a book open. They don't have to crack a book open. They just need to listen to a couple of learned people on YouTube and their lectures. So no, it's not going to clog your arteries. Judy Tucker writes, my health and my husband's health has totally improved. We help each other with this. And also watching your snippets in the morning with our coffee. Great motivator. Thank you very much. Let me tell you what, those snippets keep me going. For those of you who don't know, I make these early morning snippets. They're about 8, 10, 12, 15 minutes long. And I can't even look at them because I look so frightful. And I don't know what comes out of my mouth half the time because it's pre-coffee. Tammy writes, thank you for talking straight to me. It makes this more real. Another thing, Tammy, and I'm not talking to you, but a thing is, well, I've always used food to cope. No, we use food to not cope. Food doesn't change anything. Food does not make the day you just had at work better. Food does not make the fight you just had with your spouse or your kid better. Food does not bring your deceased loved one back. Right? You could eat all the cheese doodles and your mom would still be gone. So we need to stop equating food with anything other than fuel for our bodies. It is not sport. It is not love. It is not entertainment. Love is love. Food is fuel. If my kids showed up in this house right now and I did not bust a blood vessel making sure that I had a bunch of food thrown together for them so that I could show them that I loved them, guess what? They would know that I love them because I love them. I don't need to bake an apple pie to prove that I love them. And they don't need to bring me an apple pie to prove that they love me. You look marvelous in the morning. Oh, thank you, Judy. Judy, don't lie to the world. Karen Marie writes, Casey, the pickle juice is a big help. I also started taking magnesium supplements, and that has really been helping. I take 3 slow-release magnesium a day. And still sometimes I will get leg cramps. I cannot, there's no rhyme or reason to it. Yeah, still suffering from leg cramps, tried all the different, sometimes just soaking in a hot Epsom salt bath. That can help a lot of things. You just have to find out what works for you. Tarif. Thanks, KCD. You rock. I'm so happy to say I've been ketofied since August 2016. It's worth it. You are all worth it. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you, Tarif. Okay. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, I did want to keep this shorter than usual. I say that. On one of my videos from a while ago, someone gave me kind feedback. It was, you said, okay, I'm signing off now. And then 15 minutes later, you were still talking. So I do tend to do that. You guys, I'm going to leave you with these thoughts. There are a lot of voices out there that say, oh, this is a fad. No, it's not a fad. Not only did the first documented advice about it, and he got it from somebody, surely, probably a Frenchman. This is the way our bodies were designed to eat. The people who want to make even the ketogenic diet, some of them want to make it complicated so they can sell you something to make it simple. Oh, really having trouble choking down 7 cups of leafy greens a day? Let me sell you these pills. Just saying. You do not need to purchase one thing to be 100% successful on this protocol. Not even a mug that says I can and I will. Go Keto with Casey. Or a t-shirt. You don't need anything. You don't need to purchase urine strips. You don't need to purchase a glucometer. If you do, I like the Keto Mojo. I like the device better. I like that the strips are cheaper. And I like that the guy has his own personal story. You don't need to. You don't need to buy special foods. It's food most of us have in our freezer already. Just leave off the carbs. If you are a parent of 6 kids and a spouse, and you have serve them what they're going to eat. Just leave off the carbs for yourself. It is reduced calorie. It's not restricted calorie. It's only restricted in that if you listen to your body will restrict the calories. Don't eat if you're not hungry. We don't eat just because it's noon or 8 a.m. or 5 p.m. We don't not eat just because it's 8 or 7. And stop you're satiated. Just eat too much food. Keto or not. I'll leave you with another thing. Check out my blog at the page, the food list I followed, which is very much like page 4. It's just the one that I got from the original white coat video. Check out the cruise. But listen to your body. Don't listen to talking heads. If you know in your gut, no pun intended, that something works better for you, do it. Don't listen to me. Listen to your body. Your body knows it all. If our bodies didn't know what to do, we would not have been around for 70 million years. We would not have evolved to the point where we can now overthink breakfast. I don't think they overthought breakfast 500 years ago. Hey, Val. I'm sorry. I don't know about the notifications on YouTube. If you've clicked the little bell icon next to the word scribe, then you have to go into your settings in YouTube and say how you want to be notified. So they can only do, and you have to also on your phone. If you get notifications on your phone, even if you have everything in YouTube turned on, you have to have your phone set to say, send me notifications immediately. And now it's time for me to get off. My lovely mate just walked in after having flown his airplane. So I'm glad to see him. OMG. OMG. He should not be allowed to go to Costco by himself. Okay. You should just see what he walked in with. Okay. See you later. Thank you very much. I noticed there's no wine there. Okay.